here's Donald Trump basically saying, one, Donald Trump said the Supreme Court gave him unrestricted power. This is what one of the things Donald Trump is saying, like, yo.
I mean, that's not a lie.
Right. And it says, like, so he basically says, I can fire anybody. I thought it was crazy how they fired all the nuclear agency people
without realizing what they actually
didn't
do.
realize that what they did, and now they're trying to find them. To come back.
Hey, that's my switch. That's my switch.
That's a Kendrick callback for those unaware. And then Trump also tweeted that, like, he who saves the country. What was it? What breaks no law? Is that what he said? Like
something like that, more or less.
Yeah. You know
who else said things like that? Stalin.
Yes.
Hitler.
Yes.
You know, the greats.
Yeah.
The Mount Rushmore of fascism.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So trouble.
This is a bizarre universe that we're in right now. Like, this timeline is fucking nuts.
I mean, again, like
you know what? You know what's crazy though?
What's crazy?
By just sheer probability and mathematics.
Yes.
There has to be a timeline that's worse than this.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like in another dimension?
Yeah, like it's worse than this.
Not facts.
Like, I don't know if that's comforting or not, though. Like, I don't know.
Trouble? How do you see?
So I find it interesting how during his campaign run, he said he had nothing to do with Project 2025. And now we're seeing that he has enacted at least a third of Project 2025.
Yes.
It's only been like a month since he's officially been in office.
Yeah.
I'm
about to say it's like an actual month now.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been a month. Somebody said this first month felt like 4 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it has. Obviously, so I mean, and it's not, again, I mean, the way it looks, at least to us, I mean, planes are falling out of the sky. What'd you say, Miracle? They said we got to bring back DI.
We got to bring back DI. As soon as they banned DI, planes started falling. Trains started crashing and catching on fire. It was just like, who is in charge now? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
You know, and despite that,
who they want to be in charge?
They fired
White
more
men.
FAA people.
Yeah.
Like, you're firing these people as planes continue to fall out of the sky. I mean, like, do they want this whole thing to collapse? Is this, there was a story that came out that basically said, right, this was I guess an ex-KGB spy wrote a book, and he called Trump the perfect target. Russia cultivated Trump as an asset for 40 years. And basically saying like that, so it looks like that, right? I mean, it's like an intentional collapse of what America was, or maybe we thought it was.
It is very much the Manchurian Candidate, but
yes.
Like somebody was saying, the fall of America is meant to blame like immigrants and people of color for this fall.
Yes.
But now we're seeing like it's not us.
Yes.
And like the rest of the world is like, maybe America was the third world country. Like they were talking about how when Americans got red note, China was like, you know what, maybe we need to keep Americans on red note so Chinese citizens see how good they have it and like stop trying to like create these American ideas, because Americans are like, people are really, really suffering when we're talking about firing all these people from the federal government. We're talking about millions of dollars in healthcare research. So yesterday, a lot of people were talking about the NIH and like millions of dollars that were going for local research for cancer and different initiatives supporting local colleges and universities, supporting cities. And so all of this federal money collapses, like our cities and infrastructure collapses as well. And people forget you have a federal government. The federal government creates a minimum universal standard so that all states have the same opportunity to have the same baseline of education, of access, of data, so then that they can disseminate it for their local means and make it apply to their local municipalities. If you have different states doing different research, you have people replicating research, wasting time, wasting investments, wasting opportunities. So it's streamlined at the federal level, and then it feeds into the local level, and people forget that. So if you implode, federalism, you're basically creating 50 different countries within one territory. And it people laugh about it, but we are not designed to do that. So now we're really going to try to figure out, does my doctor know about healthcare advancements in Pennsylvania, like they know about them in North Carolina, like they know about them in California, like they know about them in Nebraska. And you can laugh about it, but at this time, when the plane in Canada, did a little loop-de-loop, 4 planes were then rerouted to Pittsburgh, right? So you have people who do not know where they're going to physically end up at any one given point in time. And if you have an emergency, something happens, God forbid, you may have to go to a local hospital. And if they are not up to date because there's no longer federal standards, you don't know what type of care you are going to get. So it is a huge, huge issue. And it's not just about, wasting money at the federal level.
Not only that, Miracle, they're saying that, again, like, it's like so many ramifications from this. One, it's also fascinating to like watch people that worked for the federal government vote for Trump and then lose their job.
Oh my days.
Like,
I love it. Poetic justice. I love it.
I voted for you, like trying to appeal to him directly. The veterans that were like, hey, we didn't know, we've been betrayed. Local veterans angry after being laid off by the Trump administration because he laid off people in the Veterans Administration, right? That's impacting healthcare, like Miracle said. Also, they're saying all of these federal workers being laid off, Miracle, is like collapsing the Washington, D.C. housing market. Because like people are like, yo, like, again, it has all these ramifications, right? Now all these people lose their jobs. Now like people might have been looking for houses or got like all this stuff has these, it's like this ripple effect that goes out and affects to the point that, we show up at the store and they ain't no eggs there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
they selling Lucy eggs at bodegas now. You see that? I was like, yo, they selling $5 eggs. A single egg is $5.
It was wild because when it said inflation went back up, Trump was like, called it Biden's inflation. No, nigga, you're in office. You said on day one,
he's passing the buck.
All these prices go down on day one.
Question.
Yes.
How exactly did this impact the housing situation in DC?
Because like now it's like the job market is like untenable. Like I can't get a job. Like you had people work for the federal government. You had a steady job. You got a government job. You're making good money. Now all these layoffs is affecting like, well, people have to sell their house, right? Okay, if you have to sell your house, who are you going to sell it to? Because thousands of people just got laid off in Washington, D.C. So they're like, now the market for housing and the market for rent now has to start going down because people can't afford to live there. Because they don't have these jobs anymore. And
like then they were being laid off with other people being promised a payout. So like they laid off these people that they felt like, they can get rid of, and then they offered other people a payoff and incentive, like, we'll give you 9 months of free work if you just leave and we'll pay it. But there's no way that they have the reserves to subsidize these payoffs. They just can't afford it. They literally can't afford it. So they're just writing checks with their mouth. They asking
3
cash.
months, 6 months, because it's structured around when DC is in session. So if now that Congress is out of session, people's contracts are up, they're not going to renew. Because there's now no stability in do I have a job in 2 months? And so I
see.
Right.
No money.
There was a story of this somebody, it was like a woman who like she had a internship, gets to DC, gets her new apartment, opens the door, gets a mail, oh, your internship's canceled.
Oh, wow.
So like now what do you do? Now you're locked into, like you said, for how long your thing is, but you don't even, the reason why you're there is gone now. So like, how do you get out of this? Do you leave? Or you get evicted? Do you not pay your rent? And so it's like all of this instability going on, you know what I'm saying?
I see.
Or, another ripple effect is the people that were pardoned for January 6th are arguing that their pardon should apply to other crimes. What other crimes, you ask, Trevor?
Please tell us.
Child porn.
Whoa.
They're saying
nothing says patriotism like child pornography.
Nothing says MAGA like murder and child porn. It says, less than a month after receiving pardons for participating January 6th, the former defendants themselves are back in court facing other criminal charges. They're arguing that it says that one of the guys who was pardoned for assaulting a police officer, again, assaulting a police officer, they got pardoned, is saying that he also had a kill list of targets. So he got charged for that. He said, no, that should be thrown out too. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, again, it says other defendants are arguing they should be absolved for other crimes, such as illegal gun possession and child pornography.
Red, white, and barely legal.
But again, what's so wild to me is like none of this, I don't know. I guess it's like, what is it going to take? Or how long is it going to take? Miracle, I did want to ask you this. I've been seeing video of a lot of the protests all over the country yesterday. It was large. There were a lot of, like, New York's protest was huge. I saw a protest, I think, in Denver that was very, very large. Like, the fact that we're 1 month in and we're already seeing like thousands of people protesting already, is that a sign that
our Democrats should actually be doing something? Is that a sign that they should not be playing possum?
Wake up, Joe Biden.
Is
coming at you right
that
now.
a sign that they should be doing town halls and reaching out to their community? Is that a sign that Democrats should actually grow a spine and not obey in advance and not be MAGA light? Is that a sign that people want something different? I don't know, because what was very interesting to me, because, you know, she's been protesting for like a year and a half now.
Yes.
Is that the people out there were very elderly.
Yes.
The people who are out there who are protesting or very upset are the people whose Social Security may not be there next year.
True.
The people who are out there are working class suburbanites. The people y'all said didn't care about the country and had your votes and were just going to show up and just go home. They're outside mad, angry, and upset with no Democratic leader out there talking to them. You know, with a Democratic leader saying, like, what leverage do we have? You know, so if I were a Democrat right now, I would have town halls in person, online. If I were a Democrat right now, I would be doing surveys. I would be asking people what they would like to see, because it's clear that there is no plan for the Democrats right now. And when people are fighting, I would be talking about like how I can do universal health care, how I can do affordable college, how I can, you know, invest in affordable housing. That's what I, you know, would be doing. And I think that these protests are going to get larger because more people are going to be impacted. When you can't go to your doctor, when you're on a 7th, 8th month wait to get, into a medical appointment, when you're being told that, oh, you can't get your antidepressants. Remember here I go again.
RFK Jr.
Remember RFK Jr. is talking about, taking away people's antidepressants and saying that people should not be on all these types of prescription medications. So you wait till you take the antidepressants away.
Everything's gonna be like January 6th.
I guess he also was talking about taking away Ozempic.
Yeah.
Now I gotta be fat and without no medicine.
Yeah, fat and angry.
No food. And
God damn.
Right.
And
no eggs, right?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Wild. So people really have it, and right now it's cold. I'm gonna be very honest with you.
Yes.
I almost unionized yesterday and be like, I don't need to leave my house if it's like below 40 degrees.
That was the decision I made. Yes.
It was, people were in freezing temperatures. So wait till it gets warm. Y'all thought George Floyd was popping off. Wait till it's warm weather and impacted white people who are losing
They already
their
showed
jobs.
what they're willing to do in February.
They're losing their job. Wait till Granny and Papa don't have their home no more. People can't be in assisted living no more.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and now I, as the queer sibling, have to have my racist, homophobic parents come stay with me because they don't have their Social Security. People are going to be rioting in the streets.